Smooch. Fuck. I don't need that on anymore. We'll try to fix it. That's better. Fucking Christ. Look, it's the fucking 24th already. There we go. Me and Logan will be right back. Cool. Doesn't need something fucking easier. Just gonna be fucking rationing these goddamn corn nuts. But it's still me time. I'm already gonna hate this fucking week. The fuck? Just that wheel popping off randomly. What is this? Drink most of it the other fucking ass. Fuck it. Let's see this. So, what this kind of tastes? Much. It's about that much, okay. So I say probably about Yeah, that looks about right. It looks like a work. I've just noticed YouTube's like a little actual like screen, and at least when I'm doing this, it's a little smaller, but it actually makes it so I can fucking read like some of the comments in them, have user access to the menu. That's nice. Oh, did they get rid of the fucking filters again? Wow, they literally did. They brought back their retouch, fucking option, which literally doesn't do anything to retouch anything. Lovely. Yeah, that guava splash with the vodka definitely works really well, which is good. That's at least good. Help a little. Well, not really, but at least it'll be something. I just realized. I was about to send a message, but I was just like, fuck it. Deal with that later. There we go. I can't really believe it early is 24th already. Like, Christmas basically just, like, kind of rolled up out of nowhere, but honestly, I literally don't give a fuck. Yeah, at this rate. Like, I legit just can't fucking, like, bring myself to care about it. It's like one times where I'm legit just straight up, like, fuck the holidays right now. Especially if, like, can't, like, have any, like, income right now and shit. Or really, like, anything, to kind of feel a little festive about or whatever. I'm definitely just, like, I'm gonna be a salty fuck tonight. Mostly because, especially on the 25th, there's literally, it's just gonna fucking be shit. Like, cause I ain't doing anything. Everyone else is out doing shit. Plus, nothing will be fucking open, like, at all. So, basically just leaves me to sit here with a dick in hand. Which for me, legit, I'm just like, why I'm like, especially just kind of like, fuck it. Like, seriously, just like, the one time where I'm literally just going to be outright, like, full Krampus mode about it. And if anyone don't like it, then they can suck a dick. Like, seriously. Like, because I just don't care. I'm already getting fucking peeved because, like, I made a bunch of food last night, and all of it's, like, literally gone. I barely had a goddamn bowl of that from from last night. It's like, that's supposed to last me like 3 fucking days, and none of it's left. And now at that point, that's just starting to piss me off because there's literally only one person that's just like fucking vacuuming that up. So I get to ration myself a fucking corn nuts tonight, at least. At some point, at least, go to a Winco or something, because it's literally the only thing open, but that's like a fucking trek away. So hoping that, just, my friend Logan will just be chill with me, driving me up there and back, because, like, that's literally the only way I'm actually going to get anything tonight, so. And if so, I don't know where to fucking hide it. Because at this point, like, I want to try to, like, hide my, like, this shit now at this point, so I can at least have something. Now, like, practically, as far as I'm, concerned, pretty much I'm, like, down to zilch. So, it's, like, it's at a rate where I'm just, like, kind of fucking, really genuinely annoyed by, just, like, it's the state of affairs right now. I'll do this real quick anyway. Fuck it. There we go. That should help. I have another one loaded up. Better be in that room. That definitely tastes like really well if that vodka mixed in together. I just thought it's going to be fucking helping, honestly, with just like my, just how I'm feeling. But if anything, honestly, I'm actually kind of okay with it making more salty and shit, because that's just literally how I, just been feeling constantly right now. And not much of, like, anything really outside of just, like, getting some food, like, that is going to make that any better. Like you missed the trivia, MC? Eh. I mean, I don't really have, like, any money, to be doing shit like that right now, so I'm, like, literally, I'm just, like, not fucking, like, I'm not really, like, really in, like, mood for things like that. I want to, but, like, I'm already getting, like, really fucking annoyed, not with, like, anyone in the group, obviously, but just, like, my buddy that I've been helping this shit, because, like, I made a bunch of food that's supposed to last, like, a couple days, and, like, literally all of it's gone literally less than 12 fucking hours. It's like, how in the fuck does he, like, go for so much of shit? Especially when I, like, barely eat much as it is. I literally only had a goddamn bowl of that shit. Like, a tiny little fucking plate of it. I don't even think Logan had any. I set a bowl up for himself, but he's like, I'll have some later, but then never ate it. So, I guess I had two, but this is pretty much the equivalent of, of a bowl or a plate for me. So it's like, it's starting to kind of really just get me peeved. And plus, like, with, like, Christmas and already Christmas Eve now, I'm just like, that's also kind of reminding me of, like, oh yeah, I'm probably going to get, annoyed and annoyed by, like, my mom at least about maybe coming down and shit, which frankly, I don't even want to. Because I already know that she, it's just going to be a bunch of fucking lecturing bullshit and her, like, weird hyper emotional sensitivity and shit about not having it super perfect and this and that. I ain't dealing with that bullshit. I got too much of my own, fucking shit to deal with. So even when I try to tell that shit, she's like, oh, well, it's like, well, you're just disrespecting your mom then and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if that's what you call fucking disrespect, then frankly, you don't even know what that fucking looks like for me. Because fucking Christ. Pretty much like her and I haven't talked to a week. So I already know that probably would end up being pretty swimmingly. Same as Crack Shack got murked. Damn. How's Santa's supposed to keep all of his energy up now? At least this guava vodka mix, tastes really well. Fucking bowl. Come on, get out of it. There we go. Ah, Jesus Christ. Piece of shit. There we go. That should fix that problem. Ah, there we go. Another reason why this fucking Christmas shit's gonna suck a bunch of dick too is because this literally is just like more time that's just like, taken out from like me finding like another goddamn job. And that isn't even over at any in particular fault outside of fucking, fact that it's just the damn holidays. And of course, like it, like the one time where a lot of like over America would be like, oh, just like not like have anything going on, pretty soon. It's like gonna be like the one of the few times where we might not literally like, bleed you dry. You would think that'd be like, one of the few times so they'll, like, as I remember where shit used to still be open, because they didn't really, care about having like that, it's a closed day or anything, unless it was like some mom and pop shit. In a weird way, that's kind of like a silver line, because then, it's like, that's kind of like, a good chance, or, what, and not a bad opportunity to at least, still go out and apply and shit. Granted, maybe like the boss wouldn't be there, but still, at least it's a, you still have a fucking day to do it. It's like every place I've been looking at so far, literally like, oh, close, like either on the Christmas Eve and on, Christmas Day, blah, 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 blah. Which is really just, 2, extra days of, just kind of fucked. Which basically makes me think, just have like the immediate just assumption of just like, and just the thought of just like, fuck this Christmas. Like, just fuck this holiday. Like legit probably the lamest fucking like holiday season, at least for me, because it's just like there ain't nothing to be like festive for or anything really like positive. If anything, I've been fucked while the holiday season's on. It's like fuck monetarily, financially, fucking when it comes to my income and my job and shit, especially one I worked for so fucking long. I still want to like fuck them up honestly in some way, shape, or form. I was actually talking to one of my old coworkers that happened to catch at the bar last night. I was talking to him for a little bit. And, even he's saying, it's like, yeah, I'm not being there that much longer. It's just something for now. And I kind of told him, it's like, well, that's what happened with me until they kind of fucked me over and shit, for supposedly stealing stuff and shit. So I just told him, it's like, it's probably just better to kind of like, ditch the boat now while you can, while there's still some life rafts. Because, like, that fucking cunt fucking director, that works, that's managing that store is fucking terrible. Like, I swear to fuck, she's literally like, running that damn store to the ground more than, frankly, a corporate merger with Kroger and fucking Albertsons could. But maybe that's the point. I don't know. More of an excuse to shut it down when a merger officially happens. So maybe that is the point. Like, squeak whatever fucking profit you can out of it, as a store until then, but basically just like, just like basically run it to the ground at the same time while doing so by mostly just doing, various different justified layoffs by firing people for justifiable reasons. Especially with like my ass, I know for a fact it's fucking retaliation. Because if they knew fucking better, they would have still kept me around. They still probably would have fucked me, and I still probably would be fucked for a little bit. But you know what? Like, I'd fucking take that. I mean, because like, hey, like, I can at least tell that, it ain't like a retaliatory thing, even if they did catch some people actually overtly just taking shit home with like a lick of a care of the world. Because there were some people in my department that were just kind of doing that. But it was literally just, similar shit that I would grab sometimes. I just never grabbed this much. I just grabbed like little things here and there, like basically the scraps. While some people will just literally fill up like a full salad container and just take that home and shit. Like at least some people in the morning were. So it's like, so other people's fucking, overt like, costing shrink or whatever the fuck their excuse was, was like really the big problem. But because I like kind of did it, well, you're just kind of lumped in as the same. And even then, like I even specified like a lot of it's like distressed foods and shit like that. Like it's already logged and tagged as distressed because it already was going to be. Or maybe not even logged at all because there's so little of it that, it's like what, 50 cents weighed up? Big whoop. I bet that's another thing too, because we're not logging all the distress. And I even mentioned and clarified specifically about me saying like, I'm always in the back doing shit, like, back there. And they even mentioned, it's like, oh yeah, I could tell that, like because with their new faulty camera they had back there when they installed that, they're like, oh, I could tell, like, it seems like, put up a sweat, back there sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I do. Because sometimes, there's a lot to catch up on, because some people in the morning don't always do their job, like some of them do, but not all of them. And when it's mostly those people that, I have to walk into, for my shift, when that was going on, it's just like, yeah, I'm catching up on a lot of shit because, like not a lot of stuff is, filled up in hot case, a lot of dishes pile up, typical bullshit. So it's like either way, fuck them. So they ain't getting my fucking, like work back. So I'm just fucking annoyed that, now it's just a fucking Christmas week. So that means kind of gonna, have a great time just sitting here with a fucking dick in my hand doing nothing. Because that definitely is gonna make me feel good. I also know my friend Logan, and even Brian to listen, tries to like kind of, we all try to coach each other up about this shit. But even then, I'm getting sick of that too. Where I'm just like, fuck, coaching. Let's just do it. Like, cause that's kind of where I'm at. I'm already been like doing it. Same with my friend Brian, but it's like, honestly, at that point, just gets annoying because like, until like there's extra steps, with, like getting interviews and this and that, and actually getting the chance to talk with some of these people, like what the fuck is that going to do good for me? Especially when there's like no time to do that because there's literally no way to do that in the next couple days. I have to basically wait for Thursday and fucking Friday. And then like at that point, that might be really the only best case scenario. And with that, it's like, there's an off chance that, there might be some progress with that, but that depends on how, like, set it up. Like, because so I have to obviously one day go up and down, like, road where I, applied or at least email to a bunch of places for. And then there's like another area where, I did that too. So one day I'm just going to have to go up, one area, and then the next day just go up to the other area and just see what happens. And hopefully that, by the time it's like, New Year's week and shit, that there's at least something with that. Because this is like, I'm at everywhere, like, honestly, just the general state of affairs is legitimately just pissing me the fuck off, and I'm getting sick of it. It's not even really inherently directed at anybody, it's just my general state of affairs. Like, it's just pissing me off. Like, I'm literally just been pissed all fucking day now. I mean, because, like, frankly, if I wanted to, I could literally go on for, like, hours about every particular tiny little thing that adds up to this shit, but it just ain't worth it, because, like, what's the point? It's just mostly just, like, just, like, it really is just the week. It feels like literally any other time, it wouldn't really be as much of a big deal. It'll just be more annoying and frustrating. Not, like, pissing me off fucking, like, starting to infuriate me. Because I'm sure shit in no fucking position to be trying to, like, be dealing with other people, let alone my own self. And yeah, I'm kind of forced into that position too, to an extent. I just hope Brad fucking, like, gets serious, like, kind of, gets a little extra about, like, maybe going to other places. One thing I think, holds back is, like, his honesty, though. Like, as he keeps mentioning about, like, I don't want to, like, even white lie about like certain things on my resume and shit. I'm just like, I do. I mean, sometimes you just gotta do it just as a little extra bump to just like, get a little extra point or two, to potentially get a call in or at least being able to be considered. It doesn't mean you have to say, like, oh, I know this, even though you literally know nothing about it. Be like, hey, I've done this before, or I've, worked at a place long enough. Like for me, I can figure out management shit. Like if I wanted to like, have to like order stuff for like a business, like, hey, no one did the orders today. I'd be like, what's the order system? I'll just ask that because I know how to do that. And I have done that for my store before. But the thing is, the system will be different for every business. So it's like, for me, it's just like, hey, I've done it a couple times, not officially, but have, and also have like, I've seen it done enough times to know what to do. I know how to do it. It's not that hard. It's basically just being like, oh, we're out of this. All right, let's order like 3 boxes of that. So we're stocked up for the month or something, like it's just shit like that. Make sure you keep filled up with things that are low, just little things. It's just literally just easy shit. Now am I actually like qualified and have been a manager? No, but I know how to do some of that shit. So I can kind of white lie and say, I'm literally a head deli, management clerk, despite not actually being that. Because I kind of was. Like, I would be the person in charge, when, our manager weren't there. And to the point when there wasn't a manager, I was kind of like the, second in command for a while. It's like, hey, if there's any questions and this and that, or if like, there's an issue with customers, like, oh, they got their order fucked up or this and that, or they want a replacement, I was the guy they went to. They always came to me first if no one else is there as management, or another like person in charge too, because I wasn't the only one. Like there was like another like head clerk, so to speak, that, could also, come up to, but pretty much almost all the time it was me. So it's like, I mean, shit, I know how to do management duties, but it's just like, so I want to do it though. I thought you didn't want a management position. I don't. I'm just saying, I'm using it as an example to white lie about your resume or about like shit that you are able to do. So I could say I've done, like assistant managerial or like, fill in managerial roles without actually really doing that. If that makes sense. I know you're kind of confused, but a lot of it is because I'm talking about white lying, a little bit, not overtly lying, but just you kind of put an extra step or two to the qualifier than you actually are. Because you know how many people have a dead ass bullshit their way for a job? Like, one example is my favorite, and this was back, in the early 2000s with, this is Paul Zigo, this is his example, because he used to work for IT for the Madera School District, for about like 8 years. You want to know how he got that job? He didn't have any IT experience. He knew a little bit about Apple stuff, but that was about it. And he, and mostly just because like, he worked at Starbucks previously and kind of had an idea about how that worked, about like Apple products and shit. So, he kind of knew that a little bit, but he had a friend who already worked there, and he said, hey, I could get you an in. And he said, hey, better pay. And, I'm married right now, so I definitely need the extra income. So fuck it. That's what he did. And he literally bullshit his way for the entire thing. Like, it literally was like, and he learned on the job. They said, hey, you're basically going to kind of intern while still being paid for like about a month or so, just to prove yourself. And if you can do it, then, then there you go. You got the job basically. And he busted his fucking ass to learn every little thing, nook and cranny, would stay well after the school was closed to make sure, that he knew what he was doing for the first little bit of time. And for about 8 years, got, had the job and actually eventually qualified and was able to professionally do the job. But he bullshit his way through it and, to get the job in the first place. I mean, it's like sometimes you got to do that shit. And granted, he had a guy who already was a buddy of his that already worked in the system too. So it also made it a little easier. But also he got buddy with his boss, so to speak, who was like really kind of like, kind of really like, stern and kind of blunt, kind of dismissive a little bit. But he noticed a few things about him that it's like, oh, he used to be a part of a quartet. I used to be a part of choir. And I also, was a thespian, at least, for Paula. And then he eventually kind of tapped into some of that type of stuff a little bit here and there and actually kind of became his buddy too. I mean, because he's also a good conversationalist, so he knows how to kind of do that type of shit. Hiring someone for IT with no IT experience still capitalism worthy. I mean, hey, this is back in the early 2000s. He worked that job up until like 2015. So, I mean, he was working IT in California for a school district out in Madera while we were in high school. So, and honestly, a lot of what he talks about is like, holy shit, like this is kind of almost the same that I kind of remember in school. Because he was able to literally know every little thing that every kid in every fucking school that he was operating with, like he legit, knew a lot of that. Like he would know exactly what, kids are doing, when it came to being online. And most of the time they were just trying to play video games or just watch rap videos and shit like that. So, he still kind of kept a strong standard with it, being like, no, but he was a little like, whatever. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but, he made sure that it got clamped down on because it's not that hard to do it. He can even do it while he was, like, away from, any site. He can just have, like, his work laptop and be able to do it from there because he was connected to all the servers and shit, which honestly is pretty cool. Like, sounds like, Paul had kind of a cool job. It is just grueling, awful fucking work because, like, it literally was the same shit over and over again and it can never catch up on fixing everything. Like, by the time he fixed 5 problems, 10 more problems just started. I mean, it was always a constant back and forth with him. So, shitty job, but paid well, at least enough for him to, bullshit his way through it. System is a meritocracy at all. Well, that's another problem too, ain't it? Because it kind of seems like you do kind of need some ins, to kind of, like, get that. And even then, it's still kind of tough occasionally. Because I kind of have like a little bit of an in with some of the places that, I can, go apply for and work a job at. Like, when it comes to Wichita or fucking, Duffy's stuff, or whatever the fuck. But, like, it's mainly their bosses specifically that own those places that is the problem. They're never there. And at least with Wichita, apparently that guy is working mornings doing, cooking anyway right now, literally on the virtue of, like, they're, one of the cooks is out with a surgery and it's going to come back by January. So I'm kind of a little shit out of luck there for now until basically next week. So, which doesn't matter because I'm already fucked trying to find a job this entire week because of this fucking shitty holiday. Those festivities. I don't know. I probably just answered it for you, did I? I probably just answered it for you. Be better if I had a job. Safeway fucked you because December is literally the worst month to find a job. Shocker! I never knew that. Yeah, that's why honestly, like, this, fucking entire, like, time, especially like leading up to this week, it's just been shitty. Is it technically Festivus? Yes, it is. I mean, Yuletide is pretty much like a broader, like, kind of a season from, like, this week up until New Year's, essentially. Festivus / Yuletide, is pretty much like more of a extended thing. Kind of like how, you have a few other, holidays that are kind of multi-day. Like with Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and shit. Quick, someone find a Festivus poll. I wish I had one, honestly. I wish I had a Krampus poll, if that is even the thing. Is there, like, some sort of, like, a relic or a shrine or, like, some sort of, like, pendant or something, to Krampus I can wear right now? Feeling like fucking, Scrooge and shit over here. Krampus. Bah, humbug. Honestly, I suppose that with the silver lining is I do kind of have an in to actually kind of start jamming with a band from one of my old friends from high school. Because he's in a local metal band that I'm pretty sure is with another old high school friend of mine, Justin, that also, is in it too, I think. So I'm thinking, shit, if we can kind of work in a jam session, maybe I can get it in, not to maybe join their band, but also at least, like, find other, ask if they know bands that might need, like, a vocalist or, like, rhythm guitarist at least or something. Not like, anything, too hyper technical, but at least, enough to kind of just get the foot in the door. Because also with the 28th, between 1876 and at least especially Los Montablados, because I'm actually friends with a couple of the band members, I could probably get in with them. Not, maybe at least as like a session player, as a trumpet player, get back to playing that. But also at least, potentially with, seeing if they know any other like ska-core bands or like punk bands in the area that might need some, need some people like for guitars or vocals or whatever. Because if I could kind of get my foot in the door with that, then, doing a couple gigs in there can at least help with a little supplemental income. So, meantime, I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of at least an option to kind of think about. And we need to think of something that will make your heart grow grow 3 sizes, which is a serious medical condition, by the way. Oh, God. So at least a lot of pro stuff is going on in your music. See, you're doing good. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not, but like in comparison to how I have been, at least especially in the past month or so, it's been fucked. Like sleep schedule's all out of whack. Fucking like, like I have to like kind of like slowly but surely drain funds for myself and kind of for my buddy too as well. But it's like, and also, like, for a guy that, decided to, buy a 12-pack, he got fucking Coors. Literal piss water. It's literally over there, and there's only 6 of them. I'm assuming he left those for me. I'm just like, I'm not touching those. That's fucking piss water. I literally would prefer if he had a fucking Bud Light, like 12-pack or something. It's like, ugh. It's the shit my brother drinks. I thought he had a job. Off and on, like sometimes he, will and actually is able to like kind of put back a little bit because he's a part of temp agency with Gliss. But I'm also not really the only one. Like me and Logan are kind of having a little frustration about this because like I don't really mind like like having kind of a mutual little thing. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like like smokes or like fucking food and shit. Also, what kind of is getting my grill about that is like, I made a whole fat fucking pot of pasta. I had like literally a bowl and a half's worth, or at least, a serving for myself. And I wake up thinking, oh, I'm going to, whip up some of that, fill myself up, kind of, like, because I fucking, like, had a shitty all-nighter. And, well, not really shitty, but just, like, I tried to stay up, couldn't, fucking woke up at, like, 10, shitty. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'll, like, fucking, just whip up some of that shit. I see the fucking pot in the sink, and I'm just like, motherfucker. So I'm literally like, well, ration fucking goddamn corn nuts now, because, like, what the fuck? It's not that, I don't really care that we're, like, I'm, feeding both of us, but he is a vacuum cleaner, dude. Like, Jesus. It's like, portion your shit out, my guy. I don't care if you want, like, some for the next day or shit, but fuck, leave me something. I mean, that's what's kind of annoying about it. It's just like, if you're gonna, like, obviously have some food, because, hey, hey, when you're hungry, but, like, portion it. That's what I've been doing. As much as I want maybe to go for another plate, or maybe, like, 3 even, I don't, because I'm trying to be like, I need to save my money, save my food. Save for, like, 4 hours later or something. This will satisfy me for now. Like, I've been literally rationing. I'm just gonna have to let them know and be like, yo, you're gonna have to be doing what I'm doing and ration. And plus, you got a big old gut anyway. Like, like your body will go for that first because that's literally energy stores. Those are there for a reason. Now, like, it's actually a good time for it because you can literally just slowly but surely burn it away just by, like, having smaller portions. And when you work out and stuff, you're extra burning that off. It's actually a good thing. But Because he is a little bit of a big guy. A little bit. A little bit. Not a lot. He's kind of like Tyler if he was like 6 foot instead of, shorter. Like, I mean, pretty much. Like, if Tyler like somehow was taller but still had the gut, that's kind of his build. It's like, I mean, but he also can. I've seen him like pretty thin too, a little bit. And it's like, and he definitely looks pretty good in that. So it's like, use this as a time to kind of help burn off some of that, energy storage and all that shit. Because obviously you got it. Even with like some of the pizzas and shit. I was just, when Logan brings them over. Even when it's free foo. Like, I'll leave some of the stuff I'm not a fan of and go for, like a couple slices of what I like, and I'll be like, all right, I'll save the rest of that for later. Tomorrow. All, like, damn near all of them, besides like a slice is gone. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, Jesus. Who's the skinny twig over here? And the thing is, he also does, like I said, give back, though. Like, it's just in different ways. And also, like, he does actually help out around here, too. And it's just like, so I do actually appreciate the extra hands that he does, bring. And also, he's been, a little help, when it comes to, being with Logan, too. Whenever we're hanging out there. Because he'll sometimes, while we're watching dogs, he'll go downstairs and, like, clean the kitchen up a little bit or something. Like, so it's not like he just takes and never gives back. He does give back, and he's even sick of not having a job too. And so that's why, like, we're trying to, do that together. But at the same time, it's like, you got to ration your shit a little bit, my guy. Because, like, I can't be spending so much money on food or smokes or alcohol or just any other random shit. That's why we were kind of like, having a system down a little bit with certain things. But it's like, you can't do that for everything. So it's like, I don't know. It's like I said, it's just fucking, to the point where just because of my situation, I'm just kind of generally, broadly at everything pissed off. This got me while I was done with roommates after college. And I know, Logan kind of trying to tell me, like, you gotta move out, blah, blah, blah. It's like, do you think I want to fucking live with people? Like, I mean, I'm, okay with, like, maybe having, like, a roommate that I know and can trust and is a close friend and shit. Like, Tyler, for example, right? Like, I would have him as a roommate because, like, worst thing, he's ever going to do is probably just hang out in the living room just playing his guitar for, like, 6 hours. And even then, he's just going to do it in his room. You know what I mean? And plus, he'll, like, I know he would get his own food. He'd be good for rent, all that shit. Like, I know he'd be good for it. You know what I mean? Like, I could see him and I, like, just saying fucking, getting like a decent little townhome together or something. But, like, beyond that, I mean, beyond, like, someone like a Tyler or some shit, fuck no, bro. I mean, Ryan, if he has a job, because he's just like, I know I, like, owe you hundreds of bucks now at this point, so don't, like, it will come back in cash for you. And I'm just like, well, let's get this fucking shit done. Obviously, literally, it's the worst time of the fucking, like, year to try to find a job, but that's where the rationing shit comes into play. And that's what I'm trying to do. Because I'm also getting kind of, low on weed, too. Like, this is literally all I got left, and there ain't much left in this fucking thing. Which I know Logan don't care about, like, going around and just buying an ounce or two for, for us. Well, me, mainly. So he ain't gonna really care too much about that. And plus, I'll just, obviously he knows I'm good, giving back and shit. Like me and Logan especially got a little system down now at this point where we're kind of getting each other back in different ways to where I'm not having to actually, like, overtly owe him money. So, we've at least were able to make it work. But my boy Bri, though, he's got to, like, work on the rationing shit and not, like, and like, not have as much, especially when it comes to the food thing. Like, it's really that. I could give a fuck about, like, the alcohol side things or smokes and shit. Ration the damn food, please. Like, I don't want to, like, be buying so much of it at once. Or just grabbing, like, taquitos from Sevy's or whatever, like, because that's not, like, a healthy meal there. I'm still looking very, he's never available on my days off. Well, because he's pretty much here all the time. Like, I mean, if he's not working, he's, like hanging out with me, basically. Like, him and I have been hanging out a fuckload. That, or I'm hanging out at his house watching his dogs, and we hang out over there and maybe go to the Heritage or something. Or back to my place, and we're here again. You know what I mean? Like, he's basically just been, like, with me, all this time. So, I mean, all in all, I mean, like, he's, like, I don't even know, but like he's like he's definitely got like his mild frustrations at least a little bit, but not at least with me. Like just because like he knows I'm actually been making some decent progress about a lot of these different things. So it's just the fucking week and the month. It's just a shit time to try to find a goddamn job. And honestly, I would have been finding it way sooner when this fucking shit happened, during Thanksgiving week or a week before this, when I got fucked. I would have been finding one then if I knew I was going to be fired. So, I mean, honestly, I probably would have had one by now if that was the case. Even if it's a fucking part-time thing. I'll put a little more in this. Did you refer to him as a Tyler? Yes. Even Tyler will refer to himself as a Tyler. Because, like, we always say, hey, like, we always refer to, like, especially, like, being Luigi or whatever, or, like, with Luigi Mangione. Like, me and the friend group, that version of that is pulling a Tyler. Oh, it's pulling a Tyler. So, I mean, even he does. So, yeah. It's kind of an inside joke. Mostly because, like, how, like, you had to, like, you hashtag you were there kind of thing, but, when TJ literally did his little Greg Abbott's, fucking rant on Onion Nuggets, and then they literally had to, like, cut that out entirely and shit. Like, I was there for it live, and I was like, oh my god. Like, that was pulling a Tyler. Like what TJ did on that show where Paul and Sky literally were seriously talking to him about it, being like, what the fuck? Like, we get making jokes and shit and like skirting the edge, but you literally just overtly called for shit. Like, you literally outright called for violence. Like that, what TJ did there, that's pulling a Tyler. And it's just, and at least for the DFF community, it's known as TJ's Greg Abbott moment. It's like, oh, you're pulling a Greg Abbott. Like, that's like the nickname for TJ now, almost. Like, it's that, basically. I saw TJ, I saw the Edge and hurled Greg off it. Yeah. Like, he literally advocated for him, literally, like, I don't even want to repeat it. I'm not even going to repeat it. But let's just say that it was spicy. Certainly a spicy meatball. Speaking of Luigi Mangione, though, he pled to not guilty in his arraignment, and weirdly enough, had the exact same fit as his lawyer. And his lawyer, dude, she's a bad bitch, bro. Dude, like, she was calling out the hypocrisy of the judge because the judge used to date a pharmaceutical, like, or like some sort of insurance company exec, or at least was married to one at one point apparently, and also like purposely made the jury essentially kind of biased against Mangione as well. So it's basically like the whole fucking like trial is going to be rigged to shit. Like, especially with how they're trying to treat this guy. Like, dude, like, everyone is literally just like, fuck the judge, fuck kind of this jury and shit and all this other type of shit. I kind of like it. I love it. I'm here for it. Dude, I'm so excited to see what his lawyer can do. The first little bit, that I saw, like, goddamn, bro. I was just like, oh, shit. I was like, damn. Dude, she's like, no holds barred kind of thing. I'm just like, shit. Not guilty. On what grounds? Self-defense. Exactly. Though I did find out, apparently, that Luigi's health insurance wasn't from United Health. So I'm thinking that they're going to try to use that against him to say, like, well, he didn't even go after the CEO of the health insurance that he's a part of, so it's even worse. He just went after some guy. And it's like, they're going to throw some stupid shit. Dead ass, this is going to be probably our generation's O.J. Simpson trial. It's going to last probably a couple years, too. Ooh. I'm kind of excited for it. It's like my favorite thing, at least in the news lately. It's just like learning about it. And also, they had 4 fucking cops with fucking ARs just sitting behind him, just sitting there, just like behind him with like fucking 4 rifles, with all of them. It's like, I'm just like, why does it look like there's like some fucking like police rifleman just sitting behind him, just like, what the fuck is he gonna do? You know what I mean? They're treating this guy like he's like fucking Osama bin Laden or something. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm surprised they don't even have a Hannibal Lecter mask on his fucking face, dude. It's like, what the fuck? They're treating him like he's like the literal devil himself. It's like, bruh. Like, where in the fuck does this all come from? Dude, that fucking perp walk, too. Favorite photo of the year. Or at least, like, favorite photo album of the year. Just that perp walk with him just there with, like, literally a fucking, like, a small battalion of cops all armed to the teeth just escorting him like they fucking caught the Joker or something. Like, dude, like, they're just literally are making him more badass, like, by the damn day. And his lawyer's, obviously helping with that too. Like, she's making him kind of a badass just by her being a badass. So it's just like, shit. We'll get that one loaded up now. In a weird way, kind of surprised there hasn't really been a copycat yet. Like, the closest that there was literally just a comment that some woman made on the phone because, like, oh, I guess she's a terrorist now or something, saying deny, defend, depose at the end of a phone call. Like, I mean, that's the closest to it, and that doesn't even qualify. Which, did she get bailed out? Like, I mean, because she's probably, like, I'm assuming she's still charged, but, like, did she actually get bailed out? Because I know there's, like, a whole fundraiser to get her out. Like, she's somehow, like, fucking Harley Quinn to Luigi's Joker or something. It's just like, give me a fucking break, dude. They're treating anyone that even gets close to fucking, like, not even skirting a line, but even just, like, it's, like, literal thought police shit, where they're just, like, even the tiniest little thing, they're going to try to, like, knack somebody else on, in fears that there might be a copycat. It's just like, bitch, you're lucky there hasn't been, this shit going on well before, Luigi. Like, and in fact, it only happened once so far. I mean, it's like, I'd be shutting the fuck up about that. I don't get why, honestly, like, the media, especially, is, like, making such a fat hoopla over it. If they didn't want to make him a martyr or, like, make him such a badass and a folk hero to pretty much, like, 99% of Americans, then, I mean, like, they wouldn't be doing this. So, like, what is the motive behind that, honestly? Like, why is the media treating this, like, literally like O.J. Simpson back in the 90s almost? You know what I mean? Like, this is, this is going to be the biggest trial, especially of 25. Like, and it's already starting. Like, they're going to probably try to wrap it up as quick as they can, but it's just going to drag on, especially with his lawyer. Dude, I think she's honestly, gonna really get hella good pay off of this. And honestly, a lot of cred. Like, basically defending America's modern folk hero, fucking, like, calling out the hypocrisy of the judge, like, and calling out the hypocrisy of the law given the concurrent trial. Like, there's a possibility to where, what if this goes to a higher court? Like, because, like, or something. Like, is that a thing? Does that happen, like, with criminal cases? I know it does with civil cases and shit. Like, sometimes, there ain't decisions, so it goes to a higher court. But, like, what about criminal cases? Does that happen? Because it would be really interesting to see if that happens. I don't think I could think of a case of that happening. I won't be surprised if it was, or if there was one. Yes, but not in the way you're thinking. Okay. Well, so yes, but for different reasons. So, I guess possibly, if he's convicted, he could appeal to a higher court. Chances are he will be convicted, and he will. So actually, yeah, this will probably go to a higher court. Yeah, it wasn't the way I was initially thinking, but, oh, yeah. If he's found not guilty, he can't go to a higher court. Well, because now he's free. Yeah, if he's found not guilty, of course. Yeah, why challenge it anymore? You're free. Like, just never touch it again. Like, he got his fucking justice in his mind. And if anything, he's probably going to come back to the world like literally a fucking hero, to at least America. At least, when it comes to the average Joe. Because, like, every time I've mentioned or, like, talked to people about it, like, they're either like, whatever, I don't care. Good for him, I guess. Murder ain't cool, though, but, Or they're like, yeah, that Brian Thompson guy kind of fucking deserved it. It's kind of a little... It's either neutral or positive. I mean, I haven't heard anyone be like, nah, that was fucked up, bruh. If it's a mistrial, then it can be tried at the same level with a new judge. I think that's probably what would happen. If, his lawyer can push for that enough to the point to where that's the case. So I think, honestly, there could be a potential call for a mistrial or, if convicted, appeal to a higher court. I think those are probably what's going to happen. And thus, like, I mean, because from what I understand about the judge, he's just, like, legit, like, kind of a shitbag and overtly biased against Luigi. I bet there was, like, some greasing of the wheels of some moolah to make sure that he got the fucking court for the case. Those beers are yours. Bro, Cooler's Light is piss water. I ain't touching those. Sorry. So, like, ugh. The few times I've, like, hung out with my brother because he drinks that shit, like, I've tried it. Ugh. I literally would rather have Bud Light. And that's also piss water. Like, ugh. I literally filled this up with vodka just to avoid touching those. Or maybe to at least help, like, kill the piss taste out of it. Ugh. Coors is pretty nasty, but I think Bud's probably worse. Not to me. Dude, Coors is like, bleh. I mean, but at least when it comes to, like, the fucking, like, Bud, dude, I was drinking it for a little bit, literally just for the virtue of the memes, because of that fucking hoopla about woke Bud Light or whatever the fuck. I was doing it for a meme for, like, a week, or at most, like, for a couple days. And honestly, it didn't really taste as bad as I thought it would. It's still piss watery gross, but it's nowhere near as gross as I thought it would be. Like, honestly, Coors is, like, that is disgusting to me. I don't know. Like, I literally would prefer any other piss water than Coors. Like, that stuff, I can't handle that. It's not my thing. Lol, okay. I'm into it. I mean, hey. Don't worry about it. You didn't know that I'm not a fan of it at all. Like, when I saw those, when you said that, I was like, that's actually more of a reason for me to kind of just keep sleeping. Coors, ugh. But maybe I should have just woke the fuck up so I could have eaten my food. I was looking forward to that, damn it. Should have at least left me a bowl. I should have one free slap. Just like, Not a hard one, just like a, you fucker. If it, oh, that, oh, okay, I don't know. Oh, great, everything. Son of a bitch. Also, repay you for it, a food amount too. Okay, well, I'm picking it out so I can whip it up. And I'm going to, like, and maybe just get double, because if we're vacuum cleaning this shit, then I'm making a honk. A fat chunk of honk of shit. Well, of dank, I should say. Really horrible word. Really horrible phrase. A fat honk of dank. See, sorry on the article I sent you. Well, I guess yes, it's because I do remember looking at them, but honestly, I'm forgetting it right now. Like, it's kind of totally spaced my head. I do remember looking at them, but I honestly could not, for the life of me, tell you about it. Gonna have my little small ration. Having my rations. Wow, I love how this ingredients list barely has fuck all. Besides nothing but literal pure sodium. This shit is just literally sodium embodiment. Total fat, 4.5 grams. Saturated fat, 0.5 grams. Trans fats, 0 grams. Cholesterol, 0 grams. Hey, at least my cholesterol I'm building up. I do love my eggs, so. Sodium, 250 milligrams, 11%. Total carbohydrates, 20 grams. 7%. Dietary fiber, a gram. Total sugars, 0. So no sugar. Proteins, 2 grams. And then 0.4 milligrams of iron. I was hoping there would be a little bit more in that. Enough sodium to take out a bear. I know, dude. That's why I'm rationing them, because I also been having this vodka mixed drink, and I'm not, like, I'm a little buzzed from it, but, like, that's not going to help. Alcohol's dehydrative. There's a lot of sodium in this. That's dehydrating me further. No bueno. Have a tiny little, small little ration. All good. Honestly, I might have one just to see if, honestly, like, my buzz feeling nullifies the piss water taste of that. But I know it won't. I know it won't. Yeah, what the fuck is going on? MAGA's going full expansionist at this point. I've been hearing about that. Like, dude, Trump is literally talking about invading Panama to retake the Panama Canal. Like it's fucking like, you know, or what, we're trying to fucking like deal with Noriega again or something. Dude, like, why is Panama, out of all places, just getting fucking like flexed on by America right now? Like, what the fuck have they done? Oh, it's because they want to fucking, you know, have a, you know, a government sanctioned fee for shipping, you know, to go through the canal. So it helps fund their government. Wow. Oh my God. What a horrible thing. It's not like America ain't going to do that either. They just want to be having the money instead of Panama. Shocker. It's literally because the government of Panama, you know, has like a fee when you travel through the canal. You have to pay like, at least, the company has to pay like 10,000 something like dollars or whatever to just, go through it. And the main reason why is because that helps, when it comes to the federal budget for Panama. Like, it literally is the government, saying, hey, if you want to go for our canal, instead of taking the long route, which will cost way fucking more than going through our canal, then you got to pay the fee, basically. It's basically like a toll road, essentially. But it's a government sanctioned one it's like a tax, to go through, and it costs way less than going all around the continent. Like, it's actually a really great deal that Panama has. Like, it's not even, I kind of looked into it. It's not even an expensive fucking fee. I mean, for how, like, the shipping companies and shit, like, you think, like, the equivalent of, like, like $50 or whatever, is going to make a big deal for the millions that they make, whatever. Like, give me a break. It's literally just because, like, Trump wants to make America great again, and then, go back to the days that we literally were colonizing Panama and having their fucking canal and shit. One of the few things Carter did that actually was good was, return the sovereign land of the Panama Canal to Panama. Like, I mean, because Carter was actually, a good president. That was one of the things that he did that was actually good. It's not like we didn't get a deal out of that either. But shit. It's like, what's the fucking point? Like, what the fuck? It's literally going to be more costly and honestly just destabilize, the fucking Americas even further. And, oh, wow, shocker, that means more people are going to fucking flee and thus probably come to America. Oh, wow, that's going to add to a lot of that fucking migrant border control fucking argument now all of a sudden. Now, will it? Because now we're going to have to worry about Panamans and their illegals, come through now that we fucked their country up now. Interesting how that works out, doesn't it? Trump might be honestly like an idiot in a lot of fucking things, but when it comes to an idiot of, colonization and making business, an idiot he is not. And this is because he knows what he's doing with that. I mean, because honestly, like, frankly, it's probably Musk, too, that's realistically about that. Yeah, because you even mentioned, like, Musk's sock accounts promote. Well, it's not his sock accounts. It's just his fucking loyal lapdog little fucking simps. That's who they are. Like, I mean, a lot of them are just literally trying to promote because, honestly, it was probably his idea. He's a white South African anyway. He's already fucking born and raised out of being an exploitative colonizer. Fucking little silver spoon, little Tovio, little baby bitch. Because he knows he'd make hella money off of it. And probably, in a way, it'd be cheaper for him because he probably has, like, a lot of shipments, that go through there. And when it comes to, like, SpaceX or Tesla or shit like that. I guarantee you, he's getting fucking, like, deals and shit with that. And wasn't necessarily a Russian astroturfing campaign with close ties to Musk. Well, it's also a Republican astroturfing campaign. Ain't a shocker that they happen to work in tandem with each other. I mean, I imagine, like, Russia has a lot of, play into this, but, ultimately, it's just a far-right astroturf campaign. And Russia is a far-right government, and, and to the point where they openly are very well accepting of, at least a very Slavic Russo version of white supremacy when it comes to Hyperborea. If you don't know about Hyperborea, you should probably look it up. Alexander Dugin is literally has wrote military strategy books and also far-right fascist books that is openly studied in the Russian military. Alexander Dugin is a Russian fascist and is in tandem and open into the government. And his daughter nearly got assassinated, and she's like an open supporter of his work and shit like that. So fuck that bitch anyway. She's and I think she got killed, but the whole target was actually Alexander Dugin. But his stupid little bitch daughter fucking got killed anyway. So whatever, good riddance regardless. But it's like the main target was him. Because he's still very well active in fucking Russian government. And they're in tandem with Viktor Orban in Hungary being a far-right fascist, and also that crazy fascist lady in Italy. Like, it's a fucking far-right, AstroTurf movement. It's not really necessarily just one country doing it. It's a main, foundation that they all, established and agreed upon, especially when it comes to the neo-far-right movement, or at least the neo-fascist movement of today. And it's in America, too. I mean, for fuck's sake, before we got involved in World War II, American corporations and companies were funding and sending shit to the Nazis. Up until 1939, basically. For fucking Standard Oil, to fucking General Motors, to Ford, especially Ford. Henry Ford was an open supporter of fucking Hitler, for fuck's sake. An overt anti-Semite. I mean, this shit is about as American as it can be, if anything. Historically, this shit, yeah, maybe Russia has a little bit more influence on it now, but historically, this shit started here in America, baby. This is a red, white, and blue fucking, foundation of philosophy. Dude, fucking Hitler literally got inspired by American eugenics. That was one of his inspirations, for his fucking crazy Nazi philosophy. I mean, so, he actually was, heavily inspired by it. I mean, they actually had some of the right, science and shit, because they didn't let the Jews get mixed with it. Hence why they, would stamp out Jewish science versus Aryan science. Part of that degeneracy, as what they claim. Because that word stems from, that too as well. We got to end all this, woke degeneracy and stuff. Where do you think that came from first? Talking about the cultural Bolshevik degeneracy of the 30s and the 20s that the Nazis were talking about. It's not as, new as you think. This shit's been going on literally because of, American eugenicism and far-right Nazi Aryan supremacy philosophy and shit. It goes hand in hand. Plus, with, the blend of corporate and state control, authoritarianism with Mussolini's fascism. It's not some just new phenomena that just got stamped out after World War II. If anything, the ones that decided to play ball kept that shit. They kept it rolling. They kept those seeds planted. Because realistically, they didn't care about, the fucking Hitler and shit. The main problem was that, he didn't care about, the rest of the capital world or the Western world. It had to have been to his name. Because ultimately, people like Churchill, Patton, thank fuck, for Roosevelt, but if not, if Charles Lindbergh had, won the presidency the first time around, he would have, said the same shit. A lot of people basically said, now we're fighting the wrong enemy. The Nazis aren't the enemy. It's those damn communists. It's the USSR that's truly the enemy. Who should be allying with the Nazis to take out the fucking commie horde? Multiple fucking people. Patton was a major fucking advocate for that shit. He actually respected a lot of the fucking Wehrmacht and the SS because of their prowess and their fucking discipline and their loyalism. Because he was the same way. Patton was a fascist. Great general, and I respect that part of it. But, beyond that, his philosophy was dog shit, and he was a fucking scumbag. And frankly, abusive to his own soldiers, too. He would openly, beat his own soldiers and actually got demoted and disciplined and had a, damn near got court-martialed for slapping a soldier because he was suffering from PTSD. From shell shock. He literally slapped and said, "You get the fuck over it, you little sissy bitch. How dare you?" But somebody, whistleblowed about that, to his high command, and they damn near court-martialed him for it. Because, basically, because they couldn't take his fucking abuse anymore. Because really, he was just a genuine piece of fucking shit. A good general, but that doesn't, excuse his abuse and his fucking scum ideas. I legit have more respect for fucking Rommel. Because at least that motherfucker at least tried to, partake in a coup against Hitler and shit because he didn't believe in the fucking Nazi philosophy. He literally was just a soldier first, and that was, his only thing. He came from a military family. So, he was raised on, be a soldier first and politics is, secondary kind of thing. He didn't give a fuck about that shit. I mean, it was even overt, about how even, what people have said about him. He didn't give a fuck about the politics. I mean, he He was a soldier of the Wehrmacht and and a general of the Wehrmacht. That's just what he thought himself as, and that's all he cared about. He just wanted to be a successful general and a leader, basically, and that was literally it. That's kind of why he kind of went against Hitler too, to an extent, being like, yeah, this guy is actually making things worse because, like, this whole idea of like, pride of our military nation shit, like it totally changed, after a certain point, and he got this franchised by it. And the literal high command of the SS came to him, while he was in his cell when they caught him being a conspirator. They literally said, you could take a cyanide pill and we can, propagandize you as a hero, or, you can not, and you'll be, literally defamed as a fucking coward and a traitor to all people and the fucking, Germany especially, kind of thing. Like, and he valued just, that soldier first and foremost thing, and he wanted that legacy, basically. So he just said, fuck it. Fuck you. I ain't, gonna, let you defame me or, for your fucking bullshit. He didn't want that. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying he's a good guy, by the way. I'm just saying, like, if I'm going to compare Patton or Rommel to each other and who was better, Rommel honestly was like the better man. At least he had a little bit of humility. A little bit. Basically not bending, the knee to the fucking Nazis, essentially, and being like, nah, you're not going to defame me. You're not going to fucking, smear my shit in the mud after all I did for you. Fuck you. I ain't playing that game. Oh, you'll like this. I got banned from some socialist subreddit for calling the USSR authoritarian left. I mean, they were. Arguably under Lenin, during the early years, it probably wasn't the case, but even then it was. But literally exactly after, like, Stalin took power, it literally was an authoritarian left state. Like, how do you, what? Like, how do you argue against that? What the fuck? Tankies. God damn it. Dude, fucking tankies, bro. Did they realize that no one, even other leftists, like them? Like, can they just fucking, like, grow the fuck up and quit being, like, weird, like, ideological, like, pseudo-intellectuals? Like, pseudo-intellectual ideologues? Because, let's just be fucking blunt. Tankies and, like, those, like, hyper-far lefties, and I'm a hyper-far leftist myself, but it's like, those type of people are, like, terminally online, just hang out in their little socialist subreddits and fucking, like, little lefty discords and shit. You really think they're doing fucking anything besides just, like, talking about theory and about, like, what Stalin would have done to this and that, or whatever? Like, okay, fuck them. They have no fucking influence or any real value until they grow the fuck up. And maybe, shocker, get a real fucking job and actually talk to people instead of just dismissing them because they don't get it and they're just fucking, like, kulaks or something. Whatever the fuck. Okay, being a little buzzed off that little, like, fucking, that's helping. The piss water taste of this has been nullified. You mean Vosh's subreddit? Yeah, oh my god, yeah, that is some low fruit. They didn't even try to argue, they just banned me with a super vague explanation. That's even more pathetic. That even shows they have less value than I thought. Because usually some of them will just straight argue with you for a little bit. They'll throw ad homs and just call you a fucking stupid rad lib or whatever the fuck. But, they'll still at least argue with you a little bit. I mean, at least with some of the tankies I've talked to before. But even then, I think they're fucking annoying. Because they don't really add any true value to, like, broader leftist, like, advocacy and shit. At least I do. I go out to different places. I socialize with people, and whenever politics is brought up, yeah, I talk about my politics and shit. Depending on what the topic is. I've been to fucking union strikes because, look at that shit. It's like, I've been part of the union. Like, I've done, the activism. I've been to jail for justice once. Like, for for far leftists, I at least know how to fucking walk the walk, just as much as I talk it. And if anything, my philosophy and the ideology of my leftism, comes from the fact that I have that experience. What are these old bitches on these fucking subreddits and their discords and their other bullshit? Like, what the fuck do they got for experience? Have they been in jail for justice? Have they had their lungs fucking sucked the oxygen out of their, out of them because of the tear gas they inhaled? Thinking it's kind of clear because you can't see it anymore, but it's still thick in the air, and you just like immediately like, it's like, I mean, have they been fucking, smacked up by a cop or a Proud Boy? Have they partook in a union strike? Have they done any of that shit? No, the fuck they haven't, and they never will. They rather talk about a bunch of bullshit and hope that a violent revolution of like the workers with guns rise up and then they'll join it. It's like they want the end result, especially the more militant version of that, without even putting the fucking work into it. And frankly, if you put in the work to it, you would never even need to have the militant side of it as much. Outside of maybe, fighting back against a cop or two during a strike or at a protest or whatever, it's like, outside some shit like that, it's like when violence is meant against you, you respond with peaceful violence. And, and that sounds kind of contradictory, but it's like, hey, when you have like little, fucking protest shields, or I have it over here, but whatever, I can't bring it up. I actually probably don't want to. But like, if you have like a little protest shield or like water balloon, like little water balloons filled with like, some weird like, whipping cream or milk or whatever, it's kind of, obscure their, gas masks and shit like that. Kicking, gas canisters and tear gas, back, to the cops, and away from the protesters, and having leaf blowers, blowing the smoke away and shit. Like, all that is like a peaceful variation of bringing violence back to the system, because you literally don't have to have like guns or fucking like Molotovs and shit like that to do the job. And in fact, honestly, far from it. Sometimes maybe that is what it takes, but frankly, that literally should be the last fucking tool you look at the toolbox. That should literally be the last absolute fucking resort. It should never get to that point. And this is from a militant, anarcho-syndicalist fucking labor leftist, talking. Like, if I recognize, the value of, where it can be applied and understand that, like, it's not the tool that you use first and foremost, then, and coming from a militant leftist, then maybe you should listen to that motherfucker. Especially when they walk the walk on top of talking it. Because I've been for that shit. I know that experience. And all these people that want to talk the talk but never fucking walk it, they're just a bunch of bitches, a bunch of cowards. Because they want to talk all this hot shit when, honestly, especially when it comes to like, taking arms up or whatever, those type of fucking militant guys, like, I guarantee you, especially on the left, none of those bitches, fucking picked up a gun and shot it. And, let's say they have a Mosin, they literally have it hanging up on the wall to be like, the rifle of the proletariat of the Bolshevik Revolution. I shall let it be there and just never use it. Like, I mean, at least fucking, like, go target shooting or something. Like, fuck. I mean, even if you are, a gun guy and stuff, like, and shit, if you're going to be talking that shit, then practice a little. Actually use it. Actually know how to operate that shit instead of being like a weird little fuck, talking all the walk, and shit while never actually walking it. At least, because I do too. I mean, hey, I got firearms myself, but fuck, I use them. I actually know how to operate them. I practice. Even if I'm not, target shooting, just tinker with it, take it apart, put it back together, learn it. And that's, if you, going that route, or at least advocating that shit. If not, then shut up. And don't fucking try to, encourage others to do it. I don't. That's up to you to decide if you think that's, a skill that should probably be in the back of your mind. For me, it is. But but that's up to you to decide. I ain't gonna fucking encourage that. Because like I said, that should be the absolute fucking last resort. During the revolution, they'll be frantically screaming on 4chan that the revolution isn't leftist enough from their mom's basement, while also arguing with neo-Nazis on 4chan too. That's kind of the weird thing about 4 and 8chan too, by the way. There's a lot of leftists and a lot of far-right weirdos and shit. I don't know what I was about to quote, but there's like a lot of like lefty types and a lot of far-right weird overt neo-Nazis. Dude, some of the political fucking threads and shit that go off on, I'm not gonna lie, are actually really hilariously entertaining. Because even though the far leftists will be like, you fucking faggot, and you KYS, you bitch. Like, I'm trying to, like, minimize it, but, like, even the far lefty types will literally go off about that. Because it's kind of a weird way to just, like, pop off, you know, without having the repercussions, because that's kind of the weird thing about, like, you know, 4chan, because literally everyone is just a non, you know, for being anonymous. So it's just, like, it's kind of a free balling thing. I always observe it. I never ever partake in, you know, that shit because I don't want to be on a list. I just quietly observe and I just like, what do people think about here? Because I know that like it's a pretty prolific space, you know, for a lot of people who are super hyper into politics, especially very hyper radical people, you know, tend to go. And also, and there's also like a lot of other weird shit that's there too, to be fucking frank. But like, I mean, you know, like it kind of gives you a weird open eye on how some people, at least given their politics, feel about shit. And I have learned a lot about, especially the far right, literally just off the virtue of 4chan and 8chan. Dude, some of the things that these people think, if you really think that woke degeneracy is going to lead to like, you know, men marrying dogs or whatever, like, you know, some of these far right weirdos think of, it's because they believe in that. They believe in the idea of doing stuff like that, and they just can't, you know, and they want to kind of bring it out, but they're like, they know it's wrong, but at the same time, it should just be seen as like, you know, a value that God has given, so to speak, because they're also hyper-Christendom as a justification to be like, we are, you know, meant to be the shepherds of the land. That means we can use it however we wish, including all the animals too, and that includes other things. They're fucking psychotic. There are some people that are just so brain broken, probably because they've been in the South for too long or whatever, I don't know. But, like, some of these motherfuckers are insane. Revolution Stars, Meal Team 6 guys, constant 4chan notifications to get distracted. I wonder if that happens for a lot of, like, you know, Russians or Ukrainians in the war or something. They go out there with a hyper weird, you know, radical ideological belief and, you know, are distracted by 4chan and Telegram, you know, groups and shit, talking about like, you know, some weird shit or something, and they just get distracted and get, you know, like droned by like, you know, kamikaze drone or something. Dude, we're gonna have a new level of PTSD from war on the virtue of drones. Dude, some of these soldiers coming back from that war, you know, are gonna hear like, you know, one of their family neighbors' kids who are like, you know, like 12 playing around with their new drone. And they're going to be like, oh, shit, oh, no. It's like, oh, dude, it's going to be kind of wild. Wait until, like, you know, Americans get in a war where drones are heavily, heavily involved like that. Like, dude, with how much we like our recreational hobbies and how many people love playing around with drones and shit, dude, there's probably going to be some insane, crazy fucking, like, cases of PTSD gone wrong. You know, when it comes to shit like that, where it's, oh. I mean, don't take it as kind of a joke either, because, I mean, I actually generally feel bad, because it's like, fuck, dude. Because I like, you know, playing around with drones. I actually have, like, a little mini one. I have it, you know, I have it, like, stored, because I haven't, you know, messed around with it in a long time. But it's actually, like, you know, it's fun to play around with. You know, but it's just, like, I mean, imagine like coming back from a war where like, you know, you have constant fear of having to shoot those down if you can, and one of them dropping a fucking grenade or an RPG or literally a kamikaze drone just dropping on your ass. And I've seen enough from r/combat footage to know what that shit, even just watching it, you know, could do to a guy. Because, dude, sometimes you live after the first fucking hit, even if it directly impacts you. It's not pretty. I can only imagine some of these drone operators probably are going to have some really fucked up PTSD from it too. Let alone the people that are victims of it. I have so many lighters, I don't know which ones are active or not. What the fuck? I know this is a new one. Ooh, hey, thanks, Lou. That's actually a pretty nice light. Oh, damn, that's fat fame. Let's turn that down a little bit. Don't need too light. When I decided to stop posting, I thought about uploading to 4chan. One look, nope. 1,000 times, nope. Oh, dude, for real, dude. I'm the same way. That's why I literally just quietly watch. Honestly, just out of curiosity about how maybe, especially people on the far right, you know, kind of think about things. And it's definitely weird. Definitely fucking weird. Also, a lot of true paranormal shit, 4chan thread. The Jews have already corrupted the Martians. What? Was that actually a thread on 4chan? That someone, so they think there's life on Mars, the Martians. So that's already a fucking conspiracy on its own. But he also thinks the Jews have corrupted them somehow, like they have like space colonization technology to like quietly go over there without anyone stop. What? But would it surprise you? No. But it's a mind fuck. I'm mind fucked, honestly, right now. Like, I guarantee you there's some motherfuckers out there that, like, dead ass believe in that shit. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I've legit seen a bunch of UFO shit on there. Oh, no, same here, dude. Especially if all these drone sightings and shit. Dude, I mean, there was a big explosion of that. Not just unfortunate, though, but just in general. I mean, I don't know what it is about these drones, but, like, it's got people a little conspiratorial. Even, like, Brian, you know, keeps talking about it sometimes. And I've even told him, it's like, I guarantee you it's just a way for people to, you know, to kind of gauge our populace a little bit about how we feel about mass surveillance via drones. And also, like, you know, potentially trying to do it enough to kind of, like, desensitize ourselves to it. Which makes sense. Because, like, if you want to, like, you know, see if, you know, people are doing any crimes or, like, doing thought crime shit or whatever, like, what better way to try to catch people before they act than with drones? Especially for cops. And funny enough, the time that me and Brian went to the library to go deal with, like, some applications and re-up my resume and shit like that, like, we saw a drone just literally chilling directly above the police station because they just had it there. I'm assuming just to test it, to see how long it just lasts for the battery and shit, just let it sit there. And it's like, I mean, it's already kind of happening. And because, especially with the NSA, and even told him that, it's because he was like, well, that's invasion of privacy and basically should be illegal. But I'm just like, well, thank the Patriot Act under Bush. Because that pretty much, you know, allowed for legalized, unwarranted spying, you know, to where you don't even need a warrant to do it. So that's why they do shit like that. That's why you especially see a shitload of cameras everywhere, even on like Park Roads and stuff, you know, and why you might get a ticket while, you know, even though there ain't no cop around because they mail it to you because, you know, you were caught speeding or something. You know, just random shit like that. Because the point is, if they can catch you in the act, they're going to fucking rape every goddamn little penny out of your ass. Or fucking arrest you. And just say, nah, you're locked away now. Bye. You're punished. Even if you never really truly did a fucking heinous crime at all. Especially a non-violent one. So, I mean, that's really ultimately what the fuck is going on with that. If you want my take about the drone shit, especially, because, like, that's what it is. Now, like, the ones out in Jersey and shit, apparently were, like nuclear, sensor drones and shit, which is why they were so fucking big. And that itself might be a different thing. But I think that, you know, that was used as justification to, you know, for a lot of other police departments and a lot of, like, state law enforcement to kind of take advantage of the situation. Because then they could just dismiss it as just some random bullshit. Hype people's conspiracies and shit like that to get them distracted about what really ultimately is what these are being used for. Because when you got the NSA and the Patriot Act that's still in effect and everything, let's just use Occam's razor. It's for surveillance. It's to fucking make sure that you're being a good citizen, a good cog in the machine. That's what it's for. Convenient. Good song. Hate, fear, pain, and death. All this country has got left. Talk to children, hear them say, "Oh, daddy getting up today." No brother steals and mommy lies. Truth lost before our eyes. Well, the algorithm's at least paying attention a little bit. What the fuck is Brian Logan? Weren't they supposed to show up or something? What time is it? Where are they? It's literally 3:30 in the fucking morning. Like, where the fuck are they? Like, didn't they say they were coming over? The fuck? I really am going to be rationing these fucking cornets tonight, am I? God damn it. So much sodium, fuck. Or are they just shopping at Winco now and just like, nah, it's too much effort to fucking pick you up, bitch. Like, what that? It's kind of open to do some grocery shopping. What the fuck? I'm gonna go for an hour and a half. Like, dude, they mentioned this like literally damn near almost an hour ago, for fuck's sake. What the hell, man? Boo. Boo. With disgust. This happening is real. My body now I cannot feel. All the graveyard is sad. All the questions get out of past. All the tears I cannot cry. All the ones who want us die. Gonna take this real quick. Be right back, y'all. I'm gonna shift this up. Oh, damn, that's why I can barely get out of here. Hold on. Shifting the table up like a lot. Oh, I have space. Oh my god, I can fucking move over here now. So it's like, why must I like escort myself and like tipple tap around here? And it's like, because the fucking damn table's like too close. Son of a bitch. Ooh. Yeah, piss off. doggo. Just so cute. That little doggo's just so cute. He's just been sitting in that chair like all night. He just kind of stared at me, just hanging out, like right on the armrest, wagging that little tail, like, "Hi, Dad, give me some snuggles." And I was just like, oh, I gotta give you some snuggles. I tried to see if he wanted to come in here, but he just refused to move. He's too much, in love with that chair. That's his little throne. Wish the motherfuckers would show up already, if that's what they were gonna do. They should have kind of like updated me if they weren't, because I have a feeling that they probably just went back to bad and just like crashed or something, or just hanging out over there. And I'm just like, well, I guess I'm over here just like a little SOL, because I really don't want to go to saves just for like, honestly, depending on like how long this goes, I might just say fucking like grab something at least, listener says, because that's pretty much what I might have to do. That depends if they actually fucking show up, because then I could be like, please, let me do some grocery shopping. You son of a bitch, please, because I need something. Why must this the struggle really happen at like the worst time of the month and the worst time of the year? Like, motherfuck, dude. Because I know shit would just be so much more fucking smoother if like it was even like every 2 weeks I got a little something. It's like motherfucker, dude. Because also I need to at least make sure I have enough for the 28th too, because that's when like me, Brian, and Logan are going to that show, which at least made me even with the Fishbone show too, because Logan had to buy those. He's like, yo, if you just buy those tickets, we're even. I'm just like, so, but I need to at least save up enough for that, just like have a little foo-foo either beforehand or after the show. Plus with, maybe grab some stickers and merch and shit, because I always like to do that. Especially for Lost My Blows. I always like sticking stickers up everywhere. All throughout the neighborhood and shit. And there's a few places where I'm just like, these stop sign poles and these street light poles it's empty. It needs a sticker or two. It needs a few stickers. And I've noticed that like some of the, places I've started putting stickers up, other people have too. I mean, honestly, my favorite time that's happened is like when I first put up a couple of stickers from like 876 Lost My Blows, and I think like one little political sticker. But then out of nowhere, like literally within a week, it got plastered with stickers. It still is too, and some of my original ones are still there. And but there was almost like a weird like political beef between like some people back and forth, to the point there was straight up some signs that were made and shit. It's just like, and like, and I was like, bruh. I was like, what is this? It was like some weird like neighborhood drama without like neighbors actually confronting each other. It was just like the most weird indirect like pseudo like social media like fucking beef in my neighborhood that happened without it being on social media. It was so weird. Honestly, I was just kind of getting a kick out of it, and I was kind of trolling a little bit too at a certain point because I just thought it was hilarious. Eventually it died off, and I was just like, I was like, whatever. love that Paul will make fake accounts to argue himself on forums. But Paul? Oh, Paul's ego? I have a feeling he probably wouldn't do that. Would he even have time to even care about doing that? Ooh, that felt good. Oh, that felt nice. Oh, that felt nice. You will. Oh, that felt good. You will. Ooh. Oh, that felt nice. Yes, I oohed twice. Yeah, no. He said back in the day he would start arguments in forums by creating 2 fake accounts and making them argue with each other. Oh, so back in the day. Well, I can actually see Paul doing that because, I mean, he would, like, because that would make other people get involved too, and then they will start arguing with each other. You know, I haven't done it literally like that, but I would, like, you know, with me and a buddy, would just, like, randomly argue, you know, on a forum where other people obviously could partake in and shit, where we would kind of start it initially, but just to kind of keep it going, we would, like, kind of pop in back and forth when everyone else started exploding, like, basically. Like, because that's the fun thing about it, I think. Like, if you could kind of, like, psyop an argument, you know, on a forum or some shit, that's fun. Because you just get people arguing for basically no reason. It's great. Especially if it's even kind of like harmless too, like, you know, like pineapple on pizza and, like, you know, some shit like that. You know what I found out? In Sweden, they have bananas on pizza. And you know what? This is what happens when we allow the paradigm to have pineapple on pizza, because you get fucking backwards ass countries like fucking Sweden doing fucking bananas on pizza. You know what they do in Vietnam? They put peach slices on their fucking pizza. Peach slices. See what we've done? This is what happens when we have some Canadian Greek fuck try to do an Italian dish with Hawaiian fucking pineapples. This is what happens when we establish that as a paradigm. The mob should have made sure that never got out, dude. The fucking Italian mob should have fucking whacked the motherfucker as soon as that got out to ensure it never spread. Because now look what happened. Now I got fucking peaches on pizza, pineapple on pizza, you know, obviously fucking bananas on pizza. God forbid fucking like an avocado on a pizza. Actually, that probably wouldn't be as bad, but that's still a fucking crime. At least there's an argument for pineapple on pizza because there's pineapple barbecue, pineapple on burgers. Pineapple barbecue and pineapple burgers are different things. Those are different in comparison to a fucking pizza. You're not like, nah. I see what you're trying to do, but nah. Totally different paradigm, totally different level of food that we're talking about. Like, no. Nope. Immediate, like, I see what you're trying to do, but rejection. See, now we're actually psyoping one right now a little bit. Because ultimately, I really don't care one way or another. But it's still fun to argue. It's so fun to just, like, go hardcore about. Because Italians care. They give a shit. So, in their honor, have you had a Hawaiian pizza? Yeah, and not my favorite thing. Mainly because of the pineapple. It's the pineapple that fucking ruins it for me. I don't like it. Like it. That's war crime. That's a precedent that should have never been set. Like everything else on on Hawaiian, as long as it's not fucking pineapple, it's actually pretty dank. But with pineapple though, no. Also, you replace the pineapple with jalapeno or like, you know, some sort of a pepper. That is pizza. Because honestly, like a Hawaiian, you replace pineapple, something like that. That right there is some dank. What about pineapple on pizza? Do you think brings down so much? It's the flavor of the pineapple. The sweetness and the acidity or the acidicness of a pineapple just kind of it doesn't blend. Is YouTube being fucking weird? YouTube, don't be glitchy. Have you ever had spam on pizza? Like what? Full on slices or like diced up spam, like in little cubes? Because if you like cube up, you know, some spam, sprinkle it on a pizza. I mean, I wouldn't mind. It's not a big deal. Cubed, yeah, well, sure. As long as the cubes aren't like too big, you know, some nice fine cubage. You know, so I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, you know, like like a lot of like, I mean, like think of like bacon bits and all sorts of shit. Like if I wanted some pork, I just go for some more quality stuff like bacon bits and shit like that. I mean, so I guess I've technically, but not literal spam. But I want to be against it because that could be a substitute for having, you know, bacon bits on there or some other shit like that. So I'd be fine with that. Assuming you've had spam, so you know, yeah, well, yeah, spam is salty shit, yeah. I mean, it's like a good, like, you know, kind of working man's food and shit, you know what I mean? So, I mean, for like, if, you know, in a pinch, you know, works. So, I mean, I've had some spam. It's not bad. I mean, I don't actively seek it out, but because if I want pork, you know, I usually go for like bacon mostly. Like if I want some pork, like I never. It's not like I don't eat pork, but like if I want some pork, I'm going for some bacon. Like that's kind of my thing. But a nice restarted the fucking app, so now it should. I hope. But knowing how fucking retarded this fucking phone is, I really highly doubt it. So Logan O'Brien actually gonna fucking show up tonight or not? Like, what in the fuck is like up with them? I'm just gonna assume they're not showing up because like that's bullshit, low key though. I thought they were like planning on that. Like literally, Ryan said that we're heading on the way back. It's like that. I'm just assuming that I was like, nah. Motherfuckers. Are you convinced of like spam? I mean, sure. I mean, like, I'm not against spam. Put that on a pizza, and you may need something sweet on the pizza to balance it out. Olives, jalapenos. Like, honestly, like, there are other things with other flavors, like, you know, olives or jalapenos that have a little slight sweetness to it that balance it pretty well. Like, pineapple is just too strong for that. Like, it's just not the right fucking ingredient. There needs to be other ingredients involved. Pineapple, no, I'm not, no, I'm still not convinced. I literally picked that fucking shit out of it, and even then, the juices of that fucking pineapple are soaked into it. I'm just like, oh. So no, I'm not, no, not convinced. I mean, you ain't gonna convince me on pineapple, bro. It's literally a war crime amongst humanity and all Italians. Come on now. Time to bust out the MK pineapple then. Oh my god. Good luck with that. Alright, felt good. I'm like half tempted to like, literally, like hit up Brian or Logan and be like, what the fuck? Aren't y'all supposed to show up or something? I'm half tempted. I'll give it a minute though. Who knows? Well, maybe not a minute, but at least like maybe 10, something like that. Because what time is it actually? 4 minutes actually. I'll give it till it's 4 a.m. Because they literally said they would be here. I'm assuming they are literally just like, because Noah and Logan probably like hella like in deep conversation or something. Or even probably back at their place. Oh my god, this son of a bitch, bro. Let's have a coffee in my room. My friend Brad brought me one, thinking it would wake me up. I was just like, I'm literally way too tired. This is not going to make me feel good. So I'm just leaving this. And considering how late it is, I haven't even bothered to touch it. But honestly, now at this rate, I'm like, should I? Maybe not now, but like later. Because my sleep is just way too fucked up right now. Like, I kind of, need to reset it. It's the fucking worst day to do it, though. That's the problem. It's the worst fucking week. I fucking hate this week, dude. Can it literally not be, like, this week? Can it literally be, like, or even a month? Can it literally be, like, anything else? Like, for fucking Christ's sake, dude. Ugh, I don't even care about how much these taste like shit. Ugh. Come on. What are these? Like fucking 4% or some shit? So it sounds like someone needs a nice dose of Christmas cheer. I'm too much of a Scrooge and a Krampus. That ain't gonna help. You know what would help? Give me a damn job. That would give me some Christmas cheer if I had a fucking job. So, shit. Give me some Christmas cheer with something like that. Make it get back. I say, look to the trucks and look at fucking perfect. So fuck my brain, I'll fuck my brain. I don't want to feel love, and I want to feel love, so I don't do pain. I want to enjoy it, I want to feel love, make it back. This is my YouTube little playlist. This is kind of busting out with some of the algorithm. Because sometimes I don't even pay attention what's like on the mix. I honestly might even replay this, honestly, just because like this kind of a little bit of a vibe with this fucking song. Tell me that. Dude, No More Pain goes fucking hard, especially with this song. Jock could be axing decorations so people will keep them up after New Year's. Sounds kind of dystopian. Yeah, they have like little cardboard cutouts of like, their foreign workers. Like, this is how we've been able to like help boost up everything. But it's like, then just fuck them over and just make them like some sort of like trying to make my liking. At that point, I would. There might actually unironically be a Luigi moment. And frankly, I know exactly where that store director parks her car. I'm half tempted to fuck with that too. Allegedly in Minecraft. That's okay, fucker. My devious, fucking side of me is really encouraging myself right now about, that. Basically pay vandalism for any Christmas shit you see up until January 1st. Oh. I mean, at least for this year? Oh, yeah, I definitely would do that. You're like, fuck this bullshit. Take a shit down. Take him down. Take him down, no. Go fucking Arnold and just start ripping everything down. Bring back some Halloween shit. Yeah. I'm now reminded why that shit tastes like shit. Ugh. Definitely not really heavily reminded about why that shit tastes like shit. Bleh. Bleh. Oh, I forgot my dog's just hanging out in his fucking chair. He's a lazy fuck. A lazy little bean. I even left the door open a crack in case he wanted to pop in, but he just doesn't want to. Little rascallion little shit. I know this much, this is literally like the biggest fucking if, like a 1% chance, like if, like my boys actually finally fucking, show up or something. Like, I know fucking, Zukov's ass will immediately bop his ass in here. But, nope. He just like his little throne. He just rather hang out there. Oh shit. Nah. This say it was going to be after 4 when I was going to message him, and it is actually. I'm going to do that real quick. Be like, yo, what the fuck? Gonna ask him. Hold on, so give me a sec. Be right back. Hopefully there's a response. Just gotta readjust my bullshit there. Come on. Oh, you little slut. Come on. There we go. There we go. Hopefully I get a response and be like, oi. So also, I guess, depending on what their fucking answer is, this will dictate whether I guess I have to go on a dumbass fucking adventure to go grab at least a little something fucking something. Not that I really want to, but yay. I'd rather fucking, like, grab some, like, cheap epic dink that I can make for free fucking days instead of, like, spending the same amount of money on, like, one fucking night. Yay, inflation, fucking price gouging, and all that bullshit. Gotta love that. Oh, wow, shocker. They're actually back at his pad, Logan's pad. Well, so that's basically the fucking result. Yay. Well, that answers that fucking question. Yay. Money I can't really afford to be spending. Woo! That's great. At least not shit that's fucking productive. Sweet. I wonder why I'm such in a Krampus mood. Because now I'm honestly just kind of a little exceptionally more pay off now at this rate. I was kind of hoping I can maybe do a little late night grocery shop and at least kind of fucking re-up on my food a little bit, but I guess not. Sweet. That totally is, making the fucking vibe feel good. Yeah, like the song. I would have that one, but nah. Well, guess I'll at least just finish this off. Then, finally, a little something. A little something for some food. I mean, because, like, legit, like, paying back for tomorrow is not going to help me tonight. So, I mean, that's just kind of like, a little bit of a legitimately, like, kind of a fuck up on their point. It was kind of legit, like, kind of led up to be literally just legit kind of, like, fucked off, basically. So now I'm like, oh, it's legit even more pissed. First, I was kind of looking forward to a little bit of that dish I made because I barely had fucking any of it. And now it's like, don't got that shit. Hoping that I could probably at least, make more of it, by tonight, but nope. We watched Violent Night, so that's pretty cool. I definitely need a little something like that, to watch. At least a little something as a distraction, because fuck, dude. 7 here. Yeah, and it's literally like a little after 4 over here. So it's, I mean, which I was thinking, hey, because Winco's a 24/7 store, like open 24 hours. So I could go over there, but I was kind of relying on the fact that I could probably hitch a ride to do that, come back, make some more, food. But now, unless I want to fucking walk it, and I sure shit don't want to do that because that's like damn near fucking a 45-minute walk just to get there and back. What, like a 2-hour fucking mission just to fucking, like, dude, no. Fucking bowl. God damn it. Just went on move. This stupid thing not want to cooperate. Alright, now you gotta work. There we go. Man, I'll never understand that dog. That little pup, like, just loves that chair too much. I mean, I can't see him, but I just know he's over there, just literally just passed out, kind of chilling on his little chair. I bet I could literally, like, leave right now, even leave that fucking door cracked open a little bit, and he probably will still be in that chair. Knowing him. Lazy little turd. He's like legit like one of those like little lazy king dogs. It's like, I'm just the king of this household and all my servants give me all the needs that I need to be met. But I'll just sit here on my throne and just sit here. Until I need something that requires their attention. Just Sukov in a nutshell. Which honestly, I don't think he's been let out tonight, but I guess he doesn't need to because he hasn't been bothering me about it. Nor has he done anything weird in the house about that, so he's just been chilling the entire time. Well, I guess an excuse to fucking, grab something, I guess, especially. Just walk him. Yeah. Yeah. Nasty. Yeah. Just got out a fuckload of lumber off that one. Ugh. Man, this is fuller than I thought. Ugh. I was hoping that would like start getting close to being over, but it's like it's not even close. Ugh. God damn it. This shit's here. Oh fuck it, I'll just say fucking just kill the bull instead. Because ugh. God, yeah, I'm starting getting to the point where the coolers is now starting to really start taking like shit. Ugh. Well, bowl's cold off, so yeah, fuck it. So don't know when I'll have another one going, but at least we'll piece it out for now. So yeah.